Let's be brutally honest for a moment. Some women don't fall in love, they fall into an addiction. Not to a substance, but to a person, to a man, to his attention. To that intense, chemical rush that initially feels like love, but eventually burns like withdrawal. This isn't just poetry or melodrama. It's biology. It's the shocking, undeniable science behind why some women become addicted to men. So, what's really happening in the brain? When she first meets him, there's that spark, that feeling of instant connection. We call it chemistry, but it's literally a neurochemical storm. The primary culprit, dopamine, it's the brain's pleasure and reward chemical. That first text, that first date, that first moment of intense eye contact, it all triggers a massive dopamine release. Her brain's reward system lights up, creating a feeling of euphoria and intense focus on him. But it's not just dopamine. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, gets released during moments of closeness and intimacy, making her feel safe and attached. Meanwhile, serotonin levels can fluctuate, contributing to the obsessive, can't stop thinking about him state. Neurologically speaking, the brain of a woman falling into this pattern is strikingly similar to the brain of someone using a highly addictive substance. She gets a hit of these feel-good chemicals, and her brain immediately says, "More, please." This is where the cycle truly begins. She sends a text. He replies instantly. Boom. Another shot of dopamine. Her reward system goes wild, reinforcing the behavior. But then, he disappears. He takes hours, or even days, to respond. The dopamine plummets. This is the crash. It's a state of neurochemical deficit that feels like anxiety, emptiness, and a deep, gnawing ache. Her brain, now desperate for its next fix, compels her to chase. She texts again. She checks his social media. She does whatever it takes to get that response, to get that hit. And when he finally reappears, the relief is so immense that the dopamine flood is even more powerful than before. This isn't a sign of weakness. It's a matter of brain wiring. This isn't a grand romance. It's a chemical dependency, cleverly disguised as love. Now, here's the brutal truth that many don't want to hear. Some men, particularly those who are emotionally unavailable or inconsistent, are perfect triggers for this addictive cycle. They have mastered the art of intermittent reinforcement. They give just enough attention, just enough warmth, to release that bonding oxytocin and rewarding dopamine. And then, just as she starts to feel secure, they pull away. This push and pull, give and withdraw dynamic is the cornerstone of how addiction is built, neuron by neuron. Every time he disappears, her anxiety spikes, creating a state of craving. When he returns, her brain is flooded with relief chemicals. This is classical conditioning at its most primal level. Her brain learns to associate him just with pleasure, but with the relief from the pain his absence causes. Over time, it's not even about the man himself anymore. It's about what he represents in her brain, the sole source of a powerful reward that she cannot control. This is why breakups in these dynamics feel less like heartbreak and more like a devastating withdrawal. And science backs this up. Groundbreaking studies from institutions like Stanford and Rutgers use fMRI scans to look at the brains of women who had recently been rejected by someone they deeply loved. The results were staggering. The same brain regions that light up when a substance addict is in withdrawal were activated. We're talking about the ventral tegmental area, and the nucleus accompanies the core of the brain's reward and addiction circuitry. The pain is real. It's not all in her head. It is a physical, measurable, and observable phenomenon on a brain scan. This neurological agony is why she might check her phone dozens, even hundreds, of times a day. It's why she replays every good memory on a loop. Her mind isn't just being sentimental. It's desperately, frantically scrambling for its next hit of dopamine. And here's the cruelest twist in this entire biological drama. Her brain doesn't actually want the man. It doesn't crave his personality, his humor, or his future plans. It craves the chemical cocktail his unpredictable presence creates. He has become the key that unlocks the drug cabinet in her own mind. You might think that being smart or successful offers some kind of protection. It doesn't. Intelligence doesn't immunize you. Self-awareness doesn't grant you a free pass. Even the strongest, most accomplished women can fall into this trap, because addiction doesn't negotiate with your IQ. It preys on emotion, attachment patterns, and timing. Think about it. When is a person most vulnerable? When they're stressed, lonely, or feeling emotionally starved. During these times, the brain is naturally more susceptible to reward-seeking behavior. It's looking for a quick fix, an escape from discomfort. And a man who is unpredictable, who offers affection in intermittent, intoxicating doses, becomes the perfect supplier. He may not even be conscious of the power he holds or the dynamic he's creating, but the effect on her brain is exactly the same. She gets hooked. So, if this is also deeply biological, is there any escape? How does she break free from this prison of her own neurochemistry? The answer is yes, and it starts with a few critical steps. First, and most importantly, is awareness. You cannot heal what you refuse to name. Call it what it is, an addiction. Understanding the neuroscience behind your feelings strips away the shame and self-blame. It's not that you're crazy or too needy. It's that your brain's reward system has been hijacked. Second, comes the detox. This is the hardest part. You must cut off the source. That means no contact. No texting, no calling, no checking their social media. Just like an addict needs to create distance from their drug, she needs to create physical and digital distance from the person who triggers the dopamine loop. Every time you check their profile or send that just checking in text, you are resetting the withdrawal clock and reinforcing the addictive pathway. Third is rewiring the brain. Here's a powerful piece of information. It takes, on average, 90 days for the brain's dopamine levels to begin to normalize after a period of intense romantic withdrawal. This isn't a myth. It's a principle of neuroplasticity. Your brain has an incredible ability to heal and form new pathways, but you have to give it the chance. You have to endure that 90-day period without feeding the addiction. And finally, replacement. But listen carefully. This does not mean replacing him with another man. That's just trading one dealer for another. It means replacing the unhealthy source of dopamine with healthy, self-generated ones. Exercise, creating art, learning a new skill, taking on a challenge at work, volunteering, spending time in nature, all of these activities release dopamine too. But this is earned dopamine. It's the kind that builds your self-esteem, your skills, and your sense of purpose, instead of breaking you down. In the end, genuine love is not supposed to destroy you. It's meant to build you up, to feel like a safe harbor, not a roller coaster of highs and lows. If a relationship consistently hurts like withdrawal, if it makes you feel anxious and desperate, it's not love, it's an addiction. And when you finally make the courageous decision to stop chasing that chemical chaos, you'll discover something profound. The real, sustainable high was never him. It was you, finally getting your power back. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more content that helps you understand the psychology of your life. See you in the next one.